and welcome to my latest live stream. I'm going to talk you through how I got on in Game Week 2 and chat you through some of my ideas for Game Week 3. Hope you're all well. Let me know how you did. Get it in the chat so I can keep an eye on it. And I hope you're all well. And let's take a look at what points I got. As you can see on screen, pretty happy. Got myself a whole 71 points. Wow, I'll talk you through all of that in a minute, but pretty happy with that. That's 270 somethings in a row, so it's pretty yeah, it's pretty good. I think it's quite consistent. So I'm sorry a bit later today, guys. I've had some major tech issues. I've switched to 2 new computers, so yeah, that's been fun this afternoon. As you can imagine, I've been running around like a squirrel, like, nothing's working. So you might get sounds happening if people subscribe. You might get pictures. We'll have to wait and see what surprises we get. But yeah, definitely happy to be back with you guys streaming. Loved this last time. It was lots of fun, so I'm looking forward to it this time. So I'm just going to quickly talk you through my Game Week 2 team. But before I do that, I just want to say, hi Sam, welcome to the chat. Alex, Agueroooo to Salah. Alex, really? Okay, we'll have to see what else you mean by that. All's good, Sam. Just a little bit kind of flustered from the computer switch, so a bit panicky to get things up. Priyats, just saying hello. Priyakit, sorry. Lyle, Heinen Priya, is that your real name? If so, what does it mean? It's not my real name. It is just an alias, so to speak. So yeah, I kind of got it from a Celtic name and adapted it. So I hope you'll like it. Hi Frank. Dave, 77, no Aguero. That's really good. I mean, I had Aguero and did not get 77. But I'm going to talk through a bit about why that might be. So, yeah, Lyle, a bit upset about Aguero. I do feel your pain. I really do. Let me talk you through how I did then. Hopefully you guys can all see my team. That's not helpful to you, is it? Hang on. Points. There we go. That'll be more helpful, wouldn't it, eh? That'd be more helpful. 71, there you go. Just to prove I'm not lying. There you go, okay. Quickly chat you through the team. Okay. So yeah, amazingly I got 21 points this week. So like I said, pretty consistent, around 500k at the moment. You know, I'm a bit disappointed that 2 weeks in a row I've got 70 plus points. Okay, not high 70s, but 70 plus points, and there's still red arrows. I mean, what's a girl got to do around here to get a green arrow? I mean, do not know. Anyway, Edison got me 5 points. Somehow with an assist. Edda's going nuts with an assist, people. What was that about? Couldn't have kept a clean sheet though, could he? You know what I'm saying? We all wanted that clean sheet as well, but can't really moan, to be honest. He has a 75% save rate, but I'm really considering whether he makes way or Bilva makes way for Mendy. Because I don't know about you guys, but Mendy seems like he's the one that needs to be in your teams, especially at the moment anyway. So if you don't have him, you're in a bit of trouble really. Okay, PVA, not so many doing bits this game week, PVA. Not doing bits this game week for me, you know. No points. No points. At 5.5, I'm going to hold him for now. People, like I said, people like Alonso, Mendy, going to consider that switch maybe there. I don't really want to switch him yet, though. We'll discuss his fixtures coming up a little bit later, so I'm not really sure I want to get rid of him just yet. He did look good, you know, he didn't look bad. Robson with 7 points, clean sheet, 1 bonus points. He's had 1 assist last game week, and he had two big chances created last night. So I'd like to see that attack a bit stronger against Brighton from him, if I'm honest. I really would, definitely. But my midfield, oof, that midfield destroyed me this week. I mean, look at it. I mean, what is there to say about it? I mean, Agueroooo, 2 points. Why do I even have him in my team? Jota was a mistake from the start. Had to recorrect that. You'll see that in a minute. Bilber on tenterhooks at the moment, because at the end of that match I was like this at the television, because yes, I had Agueroooo, but suddenly like Bilber came to life in those last few minutes. So I'm not really sure whether I want to shift him yet for Mendy or whether Edison goes. I had 7 crosses, 2 key passes, 2 shots on target in that last match, and one of those was blocked. So he's still looking promising for that midfielder spot, but he only got me 2 points this game week, so a bit disappointing there. And then we move on to Salah. You know what? What's interesting is that there are people talking about selling Salah already. I mean, that's nuts to me. And going to somebody like Mane, which not so nuts, but I remember selling Salah around this time last season when he got dropped for that match, and I jumped ship straight away because I panicked, and I regretted it ever since, and it took me 2 game weeks to get him back in. So I don't really want to panic this game, you know, after seeing the last 2 game weeks, and be like, I got to get him out of my team. He's so expensive. Why would I have him? But he's got 2 assists and a goal in 2 games. I mean, we'd all be on that, right, if he wasn't the price he was. So not really kind of feeling the move just yet. He's got 9 points and did have 4 shots blocked last night. Remember, Palace are quite good defensively, so especially at home. Mane does look good also, 2 shots on target, 29 accuracy passes, so I'm going to wait and see on this one. I am. I'm going to wait and see, because, you know, if you can afford Mane and Salah and still not compromise that top, then I'd be really considering that. As you all know, I did have that in one of my drafts with the front 3 that I have now, so as you can imagine, I'm a bit gutted that I didn't keep hold of that. But that is what it is. Zaha's a tough call, just the 2 points. If Aubameyang doesn't go for me in the next couple of game weeks, then Zaha might make way for Ings for me to free up some cash. But Zaha was against Liverpool. You know, it's a tough fixture. He did get a shot on target, which was blocked. I'm interested to see them in the next match and see, you know, what happens then, really, just to decide. And as for sticking with Albert, I'm definitely doing that this game week. As in 44 times against West Ham, when West Ham have met Arsenal. Arsenal have won 28 times to the Hammers 7, and they've had 9 draws. So that weighs quite heavily in Arsenal's favour. 16 of those Arsenal wins were at home to Arsenal, so that definitely 16 of those wins were at the Emirates. So Arsenal were at home for those wins, and the last 2 times they've won, Arsenal scored 7 goals between those 2 games. So you know, I am hoping they can do that again. I think us Arsenal fans need to see Arsenal doing it against a smaller club. Sorry, West Ham fans, We need to see that, and we do need to, especially as Aubameyang or any FPL managers owning Arsenal assets, we definitely do need to see some more action from them, because especially the price Auba is at the moment, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to keep hold of him for much longer at that price. And then lastly, we have Agueroooo. Now I can't wait to see what you guys are saying in the chat about this, but I am feeling for those of you that might have seen the article on Twitter and decided to switch your captaincy. For me, I was flip-flopping all over the place. 1 minute, yes. 1 minute, back to Salah. Oh, it drives me nuts. But until I seen that article, it was on Agueroooo all week. The captaincy was on Agueroooo all week, and I hadn't wavered. And so I suddenly just thought for a second, stop listening to the noise and just do what you were going to do. Just do it anyway. Like, if there was some quotes from Pep, or if we'd seen something a bit more official, I might have kind of left it on Salah, but I'm so glad that I decided to go with my gut in the end, and I am gutted for you guys, because that feeling, you know, yeah, I feel you on that. So definitely happy to have had him as my captain, obviously with his 3 goals and 1 assist for 40 points. Sorry everybody, but it does mean now that I couldn't love Aguero anymore. I think I didn't need it sealing before, but I definitely seal now. As for going forward, Man City have faced Wolves 8 times, City have won 5 of those times, and Wolves have won 2. Both of those Wolves wins were at Wolves though, but it was a 2-0 to City in their last time they met. So that's my team. Before I check it out to ones to watch and ones to avoid, I will just come into the chat, I think, for a little bit. I just switched out there, didn't I? Okay, cool. Hi everybody, sorry about that, just hoping I can get to the top of the chat again. Ooh, lost it now. Come back, chat. Where am I? There we got 101 in Game Week 1 and 91 in Game Week 2, FPL guy. Wow, couldn't be happy. Couldn't be happier. I'm not surprised, that's massive. 192 in 2 game weeks, that's massive. Hi Varun. So yeah, I just used wildcard to get Alonso, Jota, Sané and Edson. Not going to sell Salah soon. That's from Magash. So cool, nice. I'm not sure I would have bought Jota though, if I'm honest. Just personal preference, that one, definitely. Drop to the bottom of the chat, sorry guys. Way too early to sell Salah. He's too expensive to get rid, to let go right now. Zaha looks hot for the coming weeks. Yeah, agreed, Lyle. Magesh, why am I blabbering? Probably for the same reason that I'm blabbering. We all love a good blabber. Don't worry about it. I've been told that my sound might be a little bit iffy. I'm sorry about that, guys. I will try and sort it out for the next stream. As I say, new computer, so bear with me. And yeah, like I said, if anyone's watching and you're enjoying this, I can see the numbers going up. Thank you so much for joining me. Please make sure you pop me a subscribe and hit that notification bell. If you subscribe, I hope something will happen, whether there'll be nice sounds or images or something, you know. We'll just have to wait and see though. I can't promise. You know what computers are like. Okay, Dave. Keep Aubameyang, and Arsenal's fixtures from now are why you got him. It's very true. If it were, the chat's so quick. Vroom. Hopefully Aubameyang makes use of his amazing games. I'm looking at him as an alternative to Mane because of less ownership and a bit of differential. good times. That's kind of where I'm at, you know. So definitely liking that one as an option. What I will say about Aubameyang is I haven't bought Aubameyang specifically for this game. Hey, we got a subscriber. Woo! I don't know who it is, I'm afraid, but welcome. Hope you heard something. And yeah, so I haven't brought Aubameyang in specifically. Aubameyang's been there in my team since the beginning, and now I have to hold to see how he's going to do against the lower teams. I have to. It would be stupid for me to get rid of him without knowing what Arsenal are going to be like when they face the smaller teams. So, Arthur, I have 210 total points and I'm 410 OR and I'm freaking out. Do you have any tips to stay at the top? Arthur, don't freak out. That's amazing. That's bonkers, dude. Just keep cool. Do what you're doing. You've obviously got there for a good reason. And what I will say is don't get swayed by anyone else. Oh, another subscriber. Thanks for joining. Hopefully soon I'll know exactly who's subscribing when. So all I can say for now is thank you so much for joining. But yes, he still has 2 full transfers, but he doesn't want to make any. Well, then don't make any. Don't do it on purpose. If you don't know, if you think you're just going to be doing it for the sake of doing it, don't make that transfer. However, what I will say is if there's somebody on your bench that you've been thinking, I'm not sure if I want to hold on to them, now would be the time to make that one swap, because it's effectively a free transfer. But don't do it if you don't want to do it. Just please don't do it if you don't want to do it, because you'd just be doing it for the sake of doing it, and that's no good to anybody. Vroom, wildcard active here. V, my man. V, really this early? What is up with everyone? The FPL world has gone bonkers. There are wildcards everywhere. I can't keep up. Hey, look, I'm not going to tell you it's right or wrong, to be honest with you. Nothing's right or wrong in this game. It's a game at the end of the day. We'll take it far too seriously, of course we do, but it is a game at the end of the day, and you've got to enjoy it. And clearly you're not enjoying it if you've wildcarded. So if it's going to make you feel better about your squad, then I don't see any reason why you shouldn't. Hi JJ, welcome. Sinan, hello, finally got you live. Yeah, welcome. Okay, JJ, my dilemma is Kante and Zaha or Pedro and Ings. You've got the emoji going on. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Kante thing myself a bit later, because I'm considering him as well. Ooh, out of those two, if I was buying right now, personally, I'd probably go Pedro and Ings. But there's a bit of iffiness over whether Pedro keeps that slot. I should imagine he does, but Alex just asked me the same. What do you think about Pedro? I think he's a good. It's a good price. It's a good pick. What I would say is that I have heard some people saying they are a little bit worried about rotation though. So, yeah. Oh, okay. So it's one of those dinglings was Sanan. Thanks for subscribing, dude. Welcome to the Nim fam. Okay. FPL guy. Pedro, Mkhitaryan, or Bernardo Silva for Game Week 3 in a predicament. Okay, kind of just touched upon Pedro. Mkhitaryan blows a bit hot and cold for me. I'd be giving Mkhitaryan another game week before chucking in our teams if I was you. And I would say that about most Arsenal people. We need to see them against West Ham. We need to see those players against West Ham and really get a gauge, hopefully, for how Arsenal are going to be the rest of the season. They've had 2 tough fixtures. It makes it more difficult to judge them. What I will say is pre-season, Mkhitaryan was fantastic 1 minute and then a bit of an iffy game the next, where he was just smashing balls at the keeper. So Bernardo Silva, I've got Bernardo Silva. I feel happy that he's going to be there a little while longer. That's difficult because if you get Bernardo, obviously you're cutting off getting another City player somewhere. So it depends on whether you want to use that City slot in the middle of your park, or my preference at the moment, if you could do it, would be Agueroooo, Mendy and Edison, but that's just my preference. Oh wow, thanks guys for everyone tuning in. The numbers are brilliantly rising. I'm shocked again, as always. You always give me so much support, so thank you for that. B, attacking wing backs are going to be immense this season. Mendy looks like he may get 20 assists this year. The one player scaring me right now, besides Richarlison, was Mendy. So he is in my plans now. That my full focus is to have Mendy in my team ASAP, as soon as I can, really. But I'm not going to take like a -8 to get him in. Not yet. FPL Centre, -4 hit already made for me this week. Yeah. Oops. Chat is jumping. Okay. Can I transfer Eriksen? Any tips? I think everyone who thought Eriksen might do something, they thought if he was going to, that he would have done it in the last game, and he hasn't done that. So he definitely seems to be playing more in a defensive role at the minute. Personally, I think that means there are better options for his money out there at the moment, for sure. So if you're going to change Magesh, think of Mane if you can get him in your team. Who else should I be looking at right now? If you wanted to stay with Spurs, Ali maybe. Yeah. FPL Centre, waited until all the games were done but had to make the move. That's fair enough. Hi Karen, welcome. Okay, so I'm just going to talk you through my, well, there's a little, once I've caught up with the chat. No worries, JJ. Okay, my ones to watch and ones to avoid, or be cautious of, as I'm calling it at the minute, are, my first one is going to be Neil Etheridge of Cardiff. 1 clean sheet and 2 penalty saves in 2 game weeks. So he's made 4 saves per games at an 80% save rate. 4.5. He could definitely be a one to watch, but be careful of his run of fixtures because he does have a tough run after Huddersfield. So I'm not advocating that he would be your set and forget, by the way. So just maybe stick him on your watch list. If you're wildcarding, he could maybe be a second goalkeeper. Have a look how he rotates with some others. Just bear him in mind because he's a definite one to watch. And then next step we have Fraser, Bournemouth, just 5.5, and has got 1 goal and 1 assist in the last 2 games. If he follows form, I can see him rising in price, so he could be a little one to kind of bank in on, you know, get him early. Everyone else will be kind of 6.5s, and there's you with Fraser just there in your pocket, and everyone's jumping on and you're going cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. For all of those of you with Richarlison doing that now, highly jealous. Well done. Okay, so ones to avoid and be cautious of would be a midfielder by the name of Milivojevic, or Milo, as quite a lot of us call him. 6.5 is just too expensive for me to hold on to when they're just far more promising players, far more attacking players at that 6.5 price. I'm not sure you can hold on to him really, can you, in the hope that he'll get penalties every week? I mean, I know he did last season, but this season it's not looking that way. I'm not saying he won't get them, because of course he will, but at the minute I wouldn't be holding on to him for that price, if I'm honest. And then the last one I wanted to highlight for you guys is I try and pick out ones each week that others won't have brought up and talked about, even though they're still kind of out there for people, and that would be Shane Long. I would be very cautious of still owning him or getting him in. It seems to be missing out now that Ings has arrived. Ings has been brilliant. Shane Long's only played 32 minutes for Southampton. At 5 mil, you might be better considering downgrading to Kamara, say, at 4.5, who seems to be getting a few more minutes at least. But if you need a forward that's going to play, then I would definitely be considering putting some more money up top. But yeah, don't stick with Shane Long if you still have him. But I just wanted to kind of, I mean, 1.6% isn't highly owned, I'll give you that. But if you do, then probably time to consider moving on, eh? Hang on, should we have a look? Let's have a look. Right, let's go back to my team and I'll go through what I'm thinking of doing now for my Game Week 3 in just a second. But I'll catch up the chat first. FPL guy, thank you very much, Nim. Been watching for ages now and you've helped me start my own FPL channel. I'm thinking Bernardo, like you said. You're welcome, FPL guy. You know, it's not an easy world, YouTube, I'll give it that, but we're always, quite a few of us here are here to support, and we've all been through it ourselves. We know what it was like at the start when we were setting out. I'm not saying I'm massive, by the way, but I definitely would always try and help where I can, so you're welcome. You're very, very welcome. Sorry, it keeps jumping to the bottom of the chat. I need to get a mouse for this new computer because the scrolly bar thing doesn't want to work, doesn't want to go up, so I have no idea what people are saying a bit further up the line for some reason. Okay, let me have a look. Peasy. I think he wildcarded rather than he will carded, but you know, it could be the same thing. He stuck with Davis, Robson, bought in Mendy, swapped Sanchez for Hazard, and restructured a little bit. Yotta's been sad to get rid of. I thought he'd do big things. Oh gosh, guys. So did I. Can you imagine Yotta as being just, oh. I bet now that I've sold him though, you probably should have kept hold, because I bet now that I've sold him he'll go absolutely bonkers. So, oh Shane. Nim, I love you. Oh, Shane. Thank you. Frank, Salah to bang a brace against Brighton, calling it now. Ooh! Now, we'll tell you guys something. Frank is pretty good on the old gut feel. I will say that. Me and Frank, we're mates, we chat a bit on Twitter. He's pretty good at those gut feels, so he's telling you all now, Salah to bag a brace. At the moment, he's my captain, so I hope so. Anyway, I will talk you through that in a second. Peasy, what do you guys think of Guendouzi, Arsenal midfielder with the big hair? He's brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant. And I was going to ask you guys to chuck some stuff in the chat about him, because I think he's brilliant. And at 4.5, I said about it a couple of game weeks ago, at Migtavius, my pod partner, and I were discussing him. He's brilliant. Like, at 4.5, there aren't many other options in that midfield. I mean, I've got Masuaku, and look how that's turning out. So, you know, he looks really attacking. I had a quick look at his heat map and he was everywhere. Like, yeah, and I just think he's going to end up being one that we all might be considering in a few game weeks, that's for sure. A shame. Still can't believe you don't have Ericsson. Ericsson? Still can't believe you don't have Ericsson? Richarlison. Or do I? Find out in a second. Okay. FPL Sender. Fraser is definitely a good shout name with Bournemouth fixtures in mind too. Cheers. Hoping so, because now I've touted him. I'll look really silly otherwise. Varun just remembered, so I have to say Obi-Wan is amazing. Obi-Wan Kenobi, fantastic. Should only be a one-match ban, so don't panic, people. You know, we all bought him for bench fodder, so quite a lot of us have got far more than we probably should have done out of him anyway. So I wouldn't be chucking him out just yet, to be honest. If he doesn't get his place back when he comes back, then we can start worrying, I think. Ibrahim, you can't ignore Jimenez's chances though. Jimenez looks, eye test wise, looks really good. He's definitely on my watch list. I think I might have even mentioned him on my watch list last stream, so definitely. What is the best 5 mid? From Hennessy. Oh, welcome Hennessy, if you are actually the Hennessy. 5 mid. I don't know. You guys tell me. Mechanic seems to think it's Hughes. I'm going to be discussing this one now in a second. So, PC thinks for Neves. He thinks this Neves is the best 5 mil. Varun, very difficult to find consistent 5 to 7 million price range. Still reason I think Pascal growth will become an option again soon. Interesting. Ibrahim loves the Wildcats. The Wildcats is another FPL channel I stream with 3 other YouTubers, sometimes more, with guests. And there might be some big guests coming up very soon, so make sure you pop over and subscribe to that channel. So before I crack on with more of the chat, because I think I'm a bit down it now, so I shouldn't have to scroll, I'm going to show you what transfers I've already done and how my team now looks. So, there he is. I told you. I told you. There's Richarlison right there. Okay. So, I've got Salah as captain. Liverpool and Brighton have played one another twice, and Liverpool have won 100%. They have a 100% win rate, scoring 4 more goals in each of those. Even though Brighton won against Man United, you know, there still were goals in that match. So at the moment, Salah is the likely captain for me, and Frank's already told us he's going to score brace. So you know, but it is very tough to look past Agueroooo after last game week, I have to admit. But yeah, I am thinking Salah this game week. Okay, Richarlison came in for me more because of his percentage owned rather than anything else. 32.6% owned as of today. In comparison, we can see that Agueroooo is 39.9%. So you know, they're quite popular players in the game. So you kind of need to have him, I think, at the moment. In 86 minutes, he's had 3 goals, and that's 1.5 goals per game. So that's quite a lot, you know. I just had to jump on the bandwagon, and to be honest, if you're going to jump on any bandwagon, that's the kind of bandwagon you want to be jumping on with stats like that, really. So Bournemouth will be a tough fixture though. They're not going to be quite as easy. It was 2-1 to Bournemouth the last time these two met. And remember, there's no Vardy. So I don't know why that would be that helpful to Everton. That's obviously for the Pereira bit, which is coming up next. Put in Pereira for Jota. Jota. Put in Pereira for Jota. You know, I think Pereira faces tougher matches than what Luis does, which is who I've transferred Jota in for. a little bit worried about that. I was getting rid of a Chelsea defender when I don't have Alonso was a little bit scary, because now I'm going to miss out on the Chelsea clean sheet. So that was a little bit worrying. But this Pereira kiddie has me intrigued. He has me intrigued because he's really attacking. He's had 2 assists in the last 2 games. So Leicester versus Southampton is going to be a lot closer than what Chelsea versus Newcastle would have been. Chelsea have won 22 of their 46 matches with Newcastle. So whereas Leicester have only won 9 to Southampton 6. So that's a lot closer. Why Pereira then? Just good old fashioned eye test. And yeah, his attacking potential. Definitely more for his attacking potential rather than his clean sheets. So here is my team as it stands. Weirdly enough, I'm not considering selling Masuaku just yet. So my question to you guys is, do I take a -4 for Kearney out to somebody? That's what I want to know. So I'm coming back to the chat for that in just a second, but I'm thinking Neves, Kante or Hughes, they're kind of the top ones at the list. But I'm also considering going to Guendouzi as well of Arsenal, which would give me the extra 0.5, which would be awesome. But I'm also thinking I might quite like just to swap Masuaku and Guendouzi, straight swap, so that my 5.5 midfielder there for Guendouzi, it would be for Masuaku. Then Pereira was cheaper. So okay, let's get back to the chat. Jota gets bullied off the ball like nobody's business. Oh, that's not good. I only watched them in that first bit and I wasn't loving what I was seeing, and for me a lot of my choices come on good old fashioned eye test, so okay. So now it's Mendy. I missed the first bit, Shane. Mechanic, Townsend, Goodmanson and Fraser. I can't afford Goodmanson. I think he's too expensive, isn't he? I thought he was 6. That's not the right one. Yeah, he's 6, so I can't afford him for Kearney, unfortunately. Fraser's 5.5, of which because of these nutty price changes, calm down people, just calm down. There's no panic to get people in, you know, they will still be there next game week. And you know, if they're not, then we didn't need to get them early in the first place. No, in all honesty, I kind of put out a tweet about this in the middle of the game week. I really do think it would be good if they could lock the prices during the weekend, just so, you know, we spend all week panicking about our teams, and, well, I do anyway, being a bit of an FPL nut. And it just would be nice just to enjoy FPL for what it is on the weekend, rather than worrying, oh God, I can't get somebody in because their price is going to rise or drop. So, Sudoku Fish, hi. Hi, Nim. Team looking good, Richarlison's so highly owner. Exactly, I had to do it. You know, I really considered Walcott instead because I thought he looked brilliant as well on the weekend, but it was just the ownership. It just scared me too much. I had to do it. Frank is torn between Alba, Fraser and Mane, Arnie. So he's asked me my thoughts. for me personally at the moment, can't it be Mane, Fraser? I know they're of the same position, but I'd probably lean more towards Mane, because if I could have Mane and Salah, then I would, probably. But there's a reason why I got Aubameyang. So it'd be wrong for me to tell you not to get him, because it was kind of from this game onwards that I had him in mind. Obviously I didn't buy him for the first two, so... I bet you lot Richarlison will start to blank and everyone go crazy. It's bound to happen now. I've bought him. That's it. Your stuff now. That was the only reason why I bought him. So that he'd stop doing stuff for you lot. I was like, if I get him in now, then he'll stop scoring goals, and you know, it's fine. I can stop panicking about him. So Mendy's next. So watch out. Okay. Hazard for me is a great option. Yeah, Hazard always trolls me. He's a brilliant player, but he just always trolls me, and I get so worried that he's going to do nothing when he's in my team. Carmel said Watford are looking good. They are, and I really like the look of Hughes. In fact, if we go back to Watford, let's have a look at how he did in the last match. He had 2 shots, 1 on target and 2 attempted assists in the first game. This is Hughes. And then he had 3 shots in the last match. And his fixtures, I think I remember a bit iffy. Crystal Palace, Tottenham, Man United, Fulham, Arsenal, Bournemouth. I think that's the only reason why he's kind of put me off, Will Hughes, is the fixtures he's got. That's my only concern. Mo's late because he was playing FIFA. You know what? Can't hate on you for that, dude. FIFA's awesome. Okay. Cava Blue, he's playing out of position and look. Ooh, oh, sorry, I've lost you again. He's going to keep this position, but it's still risky because of Gazelle. Culver, I think I've missed who you're talking about there. Mo says keep Kearney. You know, I don't have to take a -4 this week. I could keep Kearney. I could. But I just haven't been impressed with him. Mechanic, yeah, you know, -4 for 5 mils, not ideal. It's not ideal. You're right, it's not. But here's my dilemma, is that everyone else with Kearney is thinking the same as me. And everyone else with Kearney is probably going to ship him out before the end of the game week. And then suddenly my 5 million slot where Kearney is for 1 game week so that I don't have to take a -4 is suddenly a 4.9 slot. And then I'm strong-armed into maybe a different change that I didn't want to do. I don't really want to be in that position. Just as I'm going to go back to chat, I'm just going to say again, thank you to everyone who's watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you're enjoying it. Okay, where we at? Garcia said he wants Hughes to shoot more. Kante is playing very far forward. Exactly, it's like a lottery. If I buy Kante, Hughes will score or assist, and vice versa. So sometimes you just can't win, really. Eric, is Louise a good option? Yes. I've just sold him. But he is a good option. I sold him for Pereira of Leicester. But he is a good option. He's one of the cheapest ways into that Chelsea defence. I believe he does take the odd. Yeah, he does take the odd free kick. So he's definitely an option. If you keep having, you know, issues, then, you know, I would consider Alonso, but if you can't afford him, then Luiz is a good option. Sorry to anyone having problems with the stream. I'm trying to work on it. So, Lyle, are you using your wildcard? I missed a few. No, not using my wildcard. This was just 2 free transfers, I say, from the last 2 game weeks. So, Mo says, no point taking a -4 because if a player returns, you only get +2. So, that's very true. That is very true. But if I take a -4 for that 5 mil player, he will be set in that spot for some time to come, unless there's injury. And then James said, stinky bench. Yeah. I can't disagree with him there, really. Okay. Fraser, good option. He is. I can't afford him, unfortunately. FPL guy has 2 million in the bank to upgrade either 5 mid to a 6.5 mid or a 4 mil defender to a 6. Thoughts? Best in your options. Walcott. Richarlison's probably outpriced now. You could look at the Leicester fella Maddison, but he hasn't returned yet, so it would be risky. But I have seen a lot of people jumping onto him. In fact, we'll go on this one because then you'll be able to see him better. This dude, he had one shot on target in the last match against Wolves, and then in the match before Man United, and then in Man United last match he had 2 shots, 1 on target and 1 attempted assist. So he's looks pretty good. So you could consider him at 6.5. Mo says, got a feeling Richarlison will get a brace. With all these feelings hanging around, so Mo with his brace on Richarlison and Frank with his brace on Salah, I'm going to be happy days again this week. Cheers, lads. Okay. Calvert said, oh, please not Mendy. I'm sorry, dude. You're all getting away from me. I have to do something. Okay, Ashan, I have Mane, Salah, Aguero and Aubameyang. Boom. If I could have that. In fact, I did have that in one of my drafts. I did a stream on the Friday evening before the game week started, and one of the drafts was exactly that. Guess who's kicking themselves now? Lyle, Walcott, good differential. Take a hit. Now, do you want me to take the hit because you think that's a good idea, or you just want to see me losing points? Mo, use FPL statistics to see if Kenny will drop in price. Could make your mind up whether you shift. Yeah, I use a mixture between statistics and fix. I check both of them, and if they're over 100 on either, whether that's to drop or go up, that's when I make my move. I just find that tends to take a bit more of the variable out rather than worry, like, trusting's the wrong word, but, you know, going with one website over the other. So Alex says, not made one transfer. I want to so far, both weeks, just to avoid the price drops. Annoying, but worth it for the wild card. People have had to jump when they don't want to. It's been miserable. I've just seen it all over Twitter, and I'm just feeling for people. I mean, it's part of the game. I will say that. Also switch back to my team. It is part of the game. I will say that. But the price rises have been miserable, haven't they? Let's have a look what Kante would look like. Now see, I quite like that because, for the simple reason, because I had to take Louise out, it would be Chelsea cover in midfield. So I quite like that. And I have seen a heat map of Kante, and he does seem to be getting about a bit. Would of course be a -4. So okay. Fraser a good option. I think maybe step before, but I can't afford Fraser. He's 5'5", unfortunately. Brune, Chelsea defenders worth looking into means only one man, Marcus Alonso, feels like he's still a wing back, probably on free kicks and still getting into the box. If I could afford him, he would be in. I think there's going to be a lot of defensive wildcards happening, put it that way. Mechanic, give one more chance to Kenny at Cottage if he's not dropping in price. Yeah, I mean, I'll keep a good eye on his price, I think, and I think you're right, guys. I think the best thing to do would be to try and wait on him one more game week. My concern is that I'm already considering taking a -4 next game week. You know me, I love to take some hits for the whole maybe Bernardo down to somebody, or just at least changing to somebody, although that's not really going to help my situation, is it? I don't know how I'm going to work Mendy into this team, but I was thinking the -4 for that. So that is the only thing, is that I would be considering a -4 possibly next week in order to do that. Mo said Madsen scored of the week. Yes, he did. You're right. God, my bench is more stinky. Hudson-Odoi, Wan-Bissaka and Peltier. Yeah, we've only got one different there, to be honest. Mo said he has a feeling Mendy will get a brace this weekend. He probably will, because I don't own him. Okay, Mo. Nim, you say you'll pick a 5mm mid and stick, but isn't that what Kearney is also? If you swap and then someone you didn't pick or Kearney returns, you're stuck in the same position. Yes, Mo, very, very good point. What I will say to that is that I didn't have all of the information when I chose Kearney. I went on hearsay and championship statistics. So, whereas now I'd hopefully be choosing that 5mm spot on people I've actually seen working in their teams so far this season, and so I've been able to actually see them working with their other players, their teammates, and get a good feel for how they're gonna, where their position is. So for me, now I'm making more of a better judgment, I think, on that 5mm spot. I will be wrapping up, guys, soon, so just to let you guys know, but I'll answer a few more questions before I go. So Dave says not worth taking the hit for a 5mm position. Bill Guy, David Luiz or Monreal, Bellerin, both have pretty good fixtures. I love Monreal, but I think Arsenal defence is worrying. That I will say, and I've never really advocated our defence, to be honest. I don't rate it. Monreal, yes, does have the skills to get assists, but I don't know. I've only done the Pereira move from Louise personally so that I could afford Richarlison. Otherwise, David Luiz would still be in my team, if that's any help to you guys. George asks, is Kane now an option? Not at that price for me, personally. Still too expensive. He's not quite on form yet. When he scores that hat-trick on the weekend, I'll be really sorry about that. But definitely consider it how you might get him in. I know it's a bit of a standard answer, but definitely consider how you might get him in if he if he does start to do really well again, because that is always the possibility with Kane. No foul, I hope I haven't said that incorrectly. Value in the fullbacks this year, Alonso, Mendy, Robson, definitely. Dave, why are you calling me and other people Mo? Haha. Because there is another Dave that is actually called Mo on Twitter, and so I've obviously got the two of you confused. Apologies. James says, I have 10.5 Sanchez cash to spend and 2 full transfers, torn between a wild card or spending Sanchez money for Mane or Hazard. If you can get by for a couple of weeks, then personally for me, I would just do the Mane switch or the Hazard switch, whichever sits better for you. Personally for me, that switch would be Mane. Yeah, just, you know, personally just prefer that switch. If I could have Mane in my team right now, I would. Somebody asked me what my rank was last season. There is 518,929. It wasn't brilliant. I had a really bad year last year. Most of you will know, some really bad personal circumstances. So I'm actually really quite chuffed with that rank, believe it or not, because I was somewhere outside the 2 million mark towards the end of the season, a couple of game weeks to go. So I managed to get myself all the way up into that top 1 mil. So I was pretty grateful for that, given how bad my season was. Okay then guys, so I'm going to wrap it up there. Thanks to everyone who joined me, and if you've really enjoyed the stream, please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell, because you'll really be helping me out. And just to let you know that all my videos and streams this season are